What they said, the feds done gotten Adam22, man. Y'all know, man. Like I said, this has been going down, bro. Like I said, everybody getting caught up in Big U mess, bro. Like I said, but yeah, that ain't got Adam22, man. They ain't got the white boy from No Jumper. So we finna get into this video, man. Shout out to Poetic Flacco for this video, man.
Recently visited Adam22, and before they left, they had a very frightening message for Big U. Since the arrest of Big U, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and other Rolling 60 members, Adam22 is officially the first public figure to come forward and admit the feds paid him a visit regarding this Big U RICO. The Big U RICO indictment include charges of bank fraud, wire fraud, human trafficking, murder, extortion, more specifically the murder of Rayshawn Williams. But when the feds pulled up on Adam, they really had no interest in none of what we just talked about.
So what was their interest in?
Interest in something that we didn't know at all that the feds were looking into Big U for. And we have to date back a little bit, about a year or so, to really review what's going on here. You see, about a year ago, Loose Cannon did an interview on No Jumper. And during this interview, Loose Cannon said a lot of things regarding his role with Big U when they used to work together. He also revealed the call he got from Big U the day that Nipsey Hussle passed away.
We were doing a TV show like a while back, right? And I'm on a phone. He FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Why you didn't warn him, bro? Why you didn't warn him?
I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got, or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what fucked.
In that part, I love you part 2, when he said that would have fucked me up. I would have been like, what? I'm like, I would have probably said I love you back. I'm like, you good, bro? What's going on? You feel me? He would have to tell me, because, bro, like I said, because ain't no way, bro. That's crazy.
Because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
God.
it was like, I could have probably stopped it, or it had it.
Stop what? Fuck you mean? That fuck you talking about?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, "Yeah, I love you, cuz," or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later,
it happened.
The homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey, and so I'm like,
wait.
You feel?
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed. You panic, call Nip. Nip answered the phone.
Yep, and
you
like just talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
you don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because
you feel me?
Their relationship was so fucked. It'd be like they be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like
I wouldn't even told him.
After you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you?
A premeditated too early.
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You get what I'm saying? And first he shot him, boom, go into the alley, came back and shot him, boom. It wasn't good enough, and then he came back and he shot him again. But now it's like
how did he know?
Yeah, no, but
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's deep. So
let me tell y'all something. Me working at No Jumper, being in the building, I was there when this particular interview happened.
Yep.
And I understand the madness and the chaos this interview caused. I'm talking about people from every walk of life who probably is associated with people at No Jumper were tapping in. How could y'all let Loose Cannon do that? Big U's peoples was tapping in, sending legal notices like, hey, y'all sure you're trying to platform this? You know this is cap, right? But here's the thing, though. See, this isn't really the first time that this discussion of did Big U have something to do with Nipsey Hussle's death? This isn't the first time that this was discussed on platforms. Big U himself discussed it on No Jumper.
Because when Nip passed away, automatically Big U did it or had something to do it or did this, did it. And Nick be like social media, the investigator now come to your house like, hey, what's the deal, bro? You know what I'm saying? You did it. Like,
the suckers for switching too, because I seen when it first happened how they was man, that's crazy. Like I remember Unc went live too, and he's sitting there talking about it. I'm like, that's crazy that y'all, if y'all really know them and you know their situation, them loved each other. Like,
That don't
Bro,
mean
now you don't even got to go through that. We was just
that don't mean nothing. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. You can love somebody and still off them, bro. Niggas do it every day, bro. Like, so I get what he's saying, but at the same time, bro, nigga, you can love a person all you want to, bro. If you feel like they did you some type of way, bro, you got to do it to them. Like I said, it is what it is, bro. Like, so what he's saying, I get it. I understand what he's saying. I truly do. But like, all people they love every day, bro, for nothing.
this in every video. Mm-hmm. Like how we was beefing when all his songs, every album he put out, since we had the so-called altercation, he shouted me out. He got the goddamn keys to the city. Like what? Didn't he say, I want to be Big U? Oh no, what did he say? Big U, like J Prince and Big Draws? And then I mean like
That nigga in the hood name was Big Draws. Crazy.
Even though he's been dealing with allegations that he's involved in Nipsey's death for a couple of years now, and he's no stranger to addressing it, he still had a problem with that particular No Jumper clip. Now, in the clip, Loose Cannon never said that Big U was involved. He never didn't. Said Big U was the one who did it.
Yeah, he just said he got a call from
Big U called me 30 minutes before the incident, and he predicted Nipsey Hussle's death, and he kept it at that.
But how did Big U know this, though? That's the thing. How did Big U know this? Why would he call somebody 30 minutes early before something happened, and then it happens? And how do you know? Like, you can't explain that. Like, it's nowhere you can not explain and get around that, bro.
But Big U still felt like that clip was damaging enough to where he needed to get involved legally. Loose Cannon told Adam that he has footage of him and Big U actually on the FaceTime having a conversation, and he was adamant that this was a real conversation that took place. But because Adam hadn't seen the footage directly, when Big U and his team of attorneys reached out and filed a cease and desist to No Jumper to remove all content accusing him of calling Loose Cannon 30 minutes before Nipsey Hussle's death, Adam was forced to oblige. He was forced to take down the clip.
What's that?
We received a cease and desist from Big U about some of your claims and Loose Cannon's claims, I guess, on this podcast. And after having it evaluated by our legal team, they told us that they thought it was a good idea for us to remove the episode.
Just, it doesn't make sense to fight it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to bring you the content just so you'll know he got the content. But I get it. It's
if
like,
you have the content, I think you should release it to the world so the world can see it, right?
Well, it'll definitely come out to the people that's going to come out through.
Where do you think this is coming from? Since you're an expert at psychoanalyzing Big U,
put it like this.
Big Yusufer.
It's some people that paid 6 figures, not high, not low, not a 1, not a 4, but maybe a 2, that's in the Middle East, that wants the footage. Why, I don't know. Now, these same people... Hold on.
The footage of Nip or the footage of the Big U phone call?
Listen to me. They want the footage of the Big U phone call. Now, how I know these people...
The Saudi government wants to own this?
It's not the government.
Okay.
These same people are the ones that been trying to buy that other footage for years. So I think they feeling like if we purchase this... When it's time for dude to want to do what he want to do with it, if Wack gets out the way, we can purchase that.
To this day, we still haven't seen the footage. I don't know if the footage exists or don't exist. I don't know, but
I ain't know none of this.
Seen it. So fast forward a few years later, Big U gets indicted for this RICO.
Yep.
Adam22 gets a visit from the
feds.
feds.
They roll
so
up on
much for being fresh. If the feds watching, I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents.
That's because your ass always got gang members up there talking crazy, Adam. That's why. That's why you in this problem now. If you didn't base your platform off of gang activities, you wouldn't have this problem, bro. Like, it's plain and simple, bro. Yeah, that's on you, bro. You did this to yourself. You feel me? Like I said, them niggas too old to be out here doing crime and gang banging, bro. You niggas damn near 50 plus, bro. Still out here thugging, trying to. Like, it's crazy, bro.
And when they showed up, I was wearing a red Nike Tech. Not exactly the definition of fresh, but I got a crazy update. I'm going to do the Good Diligent podcaster thing, and I'm going to save it for tomorrow at 4 p.m. with Lush and some surprise guests. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. The 22ster has got a big update. Tap inwardly.
Now, this where things start getting interesting. Now, we all assume if the feds is coming to Adam in this particular moment, after
Then they
the
know
indictment,
something.
Of course, they're coming because they want to subpoena the footage from No Jumper, right? That includes the unedited versions of Brick Baby and Loose Cannon talking about things the feds have interest in. Of course, they will want the unedited footage of the quote-unquote robbery and beat down the feds are accusing Loose Cannon of doing outside of No Jumper. No. When the feds show up, they didn't want none of that. They didn't have no interest in any of that. As a matter of fact, it don't even look like they have any interest in this particular RICO indictment. It looks like they are investigating something else. Because when they showed up to Adam22's house, they said, listen, you're not in trouble, man. We just want the cease and desist letter that Big U sent you.
But while I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, a guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me. She says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him
immediately,
like a ride or die would. She told him,
Adam ain't here.
Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so I immediately hop on the line with my lawyer. I say, what should I do? I don't want to, handle this situation wrong. Over and over and over, I've sat down with rappers or whoever who tell me about situations in which they divulge too much information to the police or whoever, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Especially, something that comes to mind is like Hurricane Chris, who caught a body that was blatantly self-defense. This is the thing that my lawyer comes back to me with. She said the feds were interested in one thing and one thing only. Because in my head, I'm thinking, they're going to want copies of the podcasts that Brick or Loose were on. They're going to want to make sure that there wasn't anything in those podcasts that was edited out. Now, anybody who knows me and No Jumper knows that we really don't like to edit things out. So the only stuff we're editing out is if it's like a 4-alarm fire, like, yo, we need to take this out. So I don't think there's ever been something that Brick or Loose told us that they needed us to edit out. But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first made the explosive statements that suggested that Big U had previous knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's death. Now, that situation
That's crazy.
is very much outside of what was mentioned in the indictment. In the indictment, there's nothing about Nipsey. There's nothing about any of that stuff.
Here's why this is a very scary message for Big U. See, when you read the indictment, they sprinkle in Nipsey Hussle all across the indictment. But they sprinkle him in weird times, as if they're trying to send Big U a message. Here's what I mean when I say that. Big U is not being charged with any crimes related to Nipsey Hussle. So it's kind of weird how much time the feds spent talking about Nipsey Hussle in his RICO. So the feds will document a 2008 altercation where apparently Nipsey Hussle and Big U were getting into it. A diss song was released from Nipsey's behalf. Big U didn't like it, so Big U pulled up on Nipsey Hussle to quote-unquote discipline him, and things went left. Black Sam wasn't going to allow his brother to get touched. Guns got shot, people got arrested. So the feds documented that particular incident. If I'm Big U, I'll be concerned about how the feds followed up their entire documentation of Nipsey Hussle and Big U's relationship. They followed that up with, Nipsey Hussle was murdered by a member of the Rolling 60s in 2019. So you follow our entire history up just to say that. Are you trying to say something? The feds would then follow this up where they document Big U's and Nipsey Hussle's tumultuous relationship, saying Nipsey was killed. We don't know who did it, but he was killed. And then they followed it up by quoting Big U from a wiretap where Big U was telling somebody that he's going to pull up and he's
He said, damn near nobody who's been in this motherfucker longer than me can stand against me and me be who I am. If I had a problem with any man, and it wouldn't be so funny to me. I still...
He's not retired yet from the gang.
I'm retired.
You know what happened to the last person who thought he was retired? that's in reference, according to the feds, that's
Oh,
in
they talking
reference to
about,
Nipsey Hussle because, like, the beef and the chaos that took place between Nipsey and Big U was Nipsey was becoming sort of like the voice and the face of the hood.
Yep.
Big U has always been the voice and face of the hood for, as long as he's been alive. So that's what the feds are saying. Not Flacco, but the feds are saying that right there caused a lot of chaos and turmoil between Nipsey Hussle and Big U.
Yep.
The feds didn't stop there. Bro, they spent a lot.
That's because like I said, Nipsey was becoming the face of the hood, and all the younger homies looked up to him. They weren't looking up to Big U no more. You feel me? They was looking up to Nip. And like I said, Big U probably got jealous about it. Like I said, this is crazy, bro. Like I said, niggas need to give it up,
A lot
bro.
of time on Nipsey,
all this game banging y'all doing, gotta stop.
If I'm Big U, they would recall a wiretap where on December 31st, 2022, Big U recounted being bigger than any Rolling 60 members, including Nipsey Hussle. Now, on that same day, the feds will claim that Big U also stated if he had an issue with anyone, they would no longer be alive. You see how the feds set it up? You see how slick they are?
That man been on wiretap for a minute.
The feds don't just spend time talking about things and events in a RICO that's irrelevant. For some reason, the feds believe that that's relevant. For some reason, the feds believe a cease and desist to No Jumper
was
about
irrelevant.
a clip talking about Nipsey Hussle's death. That's relevant.
That's relevant as hell.
Hey, man, this
It's
is
relevant,
bad, bro. This is, at this point, I think they just trying to cook Big U, man, because,
They trying to put him in
can
a
you
pot.
imagine? They don't even need to win the court case. If they charge Big U with this, this is like not playing fair, bro. Because you took away this man's freedom. Now you're trying to take away his life,
everything,
his lore and his good graces within his own gang. This is But hey, so far we don't know why the feds want to cease and desist. Okay, we don't know yet. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Do y'all think this is a scary message for Big U? Do y'all feel like this is nothing? And if you're still watching,
they on Big U ass, bro. Like I said, like come on, bro. Yeah, they be real, bro. 30 minutes before he called, Loose Cannon told him that Nipsey was gone. Like, how did Big U know this? Like, literally, like, please, y'all, like, it make sense to me. And then Loose Cannon called Nip. Nip answered the phone. They chopping it up. Hey, I love you, cuz. Then boom, 30 minutes later, Nip gone. Then they hit up Adam22 for that cease, for that clip. Y'all make it make sense, but like I said, they don't get me wrong. They probably Big U and Nip probably they was probably cordial, but still, like I said, motherfuckers didn't look up to Big U. Wasn't looking up to Big U. They looking up to Nip, bro. And like I said, you be seeing it on the internet. People were saying, little homies, would be clipping stuff, saying stuff, saying they looking up to Nip. They weren't looking up to Big U no more, and Big U probably felt some type of way about it. But like I said, who knows, bro? Like I said, they just like Flacco said, they trying to cook Big U for real. They trying to put him in a pie and get him out of here. But y'all hit that like and subscribe button for me, and we out.